Michael Jordan is what in the finals? 6 and what?
Oh.
And what is LeBron in the finals? That's all I got to say.
Shaquille O'Neal has finally had enough. He's grown frustrated with what he sees as ongoing disrespect toward Michael Jordan from LeBron James and Kevin Durant, and now he's speaking out without hesitation. The basketball community is buzzing after Shaq's blunt and unapologetic comments, which have reignited the never-ending GOAT debate. Could this be the statement that settles it once and for all? Let's dive in. Point one of the most interesting things about the NBA's greatest of all-time discussion isn't the numbers, the titles, or the endless highlight clips shared online. What truly stands out is when someone who actually competed against these legends, someone who experienced their dominance firsthand, steps up and shares their perspective. And when that voice belongs to a four-time NBA champion, a Hall of Famer, and one of the most dominant players the game has ever seen, it demands attention. Shaquille O'Neal isn't just another former player chasing headlines or stirring controversy for attention. He went head-to-head with Michael Jordan in 21 NBA games, including crucial playoff matchups that helped define both of their legacies. Against Jordan, Shaq averaged 25 points and 14.1 rebounds per game, numbers that reflect not only his talent, but the level of competition he faced while battling the man widely regarded as the greatest to ever play the game. When Shaq talks about this topic, he speaks with conviction. He doesn't soften his stance or worry about who might be offended. In his view, the debate between Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant isn't much of a debate at all. During a 2024 episode of The Big Podcast, Shaq laid out what may be his strongest argument for Jordan's GOAT status, and it had nothing to do with championships, scoring titles, or finals MVPs. Instead, he focused on something far more powerful and impossible to measure: fear. Shaq recalled hearing players, himself included, admit that they were genuinely afraid of Michael Jordan. He's heard players from later generations say they feared Kobe Bryant. But according to Shaq, he has never heard players say they feared LeBron James. That statement alone is striking. Take a moment to process it. This is coming from one of the most physically dominant athletes in sports history, a 7'1", 300-plus pound force, openly admitting that Michael Jordan terrified him. Not intimidated him. Not impressed him. Terrified him. And when that kind of admission comes from someone like Shaquille O'Neal, it carries a level of credibility that no stat sheet or record book could ever match.
January 16th, 1993, still your rookie year. You guys are in Chicago playing the Bulls. It's a big moment. These are the defending champs, back-to-back champs.
Hip it in, hooks it up, in, counted, and he's fouled. Mike, quick turnaround, and he hit it.
I remember that Mike is killing us, but we're close. You know, when you see the light at the end of the tunnel, you go for it. Damn, I'm about to beat Michael Jordan.
That rookie season matchup on January 16, 1993, would go down as a defining chapter in Shaquille O'Neal's early NBA journey. Michael Jordan exploded for 64 points and 5 steals, putting on a scoring display few had ever witnessed. Yet it was Shaq's dominant stat line, 29 points and 24 rebounds, that ultimately pushed Orlando to a dramatic 128-124 overtime win. The game offered a preview of Shaq's immense potential, while simultaneously showcasing why Jordan was such a frightening force on the court. Years later, Shaq's belief in Jordan's unmatched greatness was further solidified in 2020 with the release of The Last Dance. The documentary peeled back the curtain on Jordan's ruthless mentality and relentless leadership during his championship runs. Appearing on The Dan Patrick Show, Shaq didn't hesitate to share his conclusion. Watching the series convinced him that Michael Jordan will always be the GOAT. He pointed to Jordan's flawless 6-0 record in the NBA Finals and the leadership presence that separated him from everyone else. Where Shaq's case becomes especially hard to dismiss is when the numbers are laid out plainly. Jordan's individual achievements surpassed the combined totals of LeBron James and Kevin Durant in several major areas. Jordan captured 10 scoring titles, 10. LeBron and Durant together have only 5. Jordan also earned 9 all-defensive first-team selections, while LeBron and Durant have just 5 combined, with Durant having none. Even among today's players, Jordan's legacy remains dominant. In a 2024 poll of current NBA players, 46% named Jordan the greatest of all time, compared to 42% for LeBron. Some might view that shrinking margin as evidence that opinions are shifting. But context matters. The players who watched Jordan in his prime, the ones who felt that fear firsthand, are gradually leaving the league. Younger players never saw Jordan drop 63 points on Boston in a playoff game. They never watched him casually shrug after draining 6 three-pointers in a single finals half. What they know is the legend, not the experience. Shaq, however, was there. He lived it. And he isn't shy about reminding the basketball world what truly set Michael Jordan apart from everyone who came before him, and everyone who has followed since.
Because I want what he has. Studying how the refs treat him. I'm studying how he's talking to his teammates and they respond. I'm studying his relationship with him and Phil Jackson. I'm studying how the opponents look at him and fear him and all that. I definitely want that. He was the best in the game and I wanted his spot.
That quote alone captures the full weight of Michael Jordan's influence on those who competed against him. Shaquille O'Neal, who would later win 4 championships himself, openly admitted that he studied Jordan the way an apprentice studies a master. He paid attention to everything: how referees protected him, how teammates followed his lead, and how opponents visibly feared him. Shaq didn't just admire it, he wanted to replicate it. During a 2025 appearance on the Straight Game podcast, Shaq voiced his continued frustration with how the GOAT conversation often jumps straight from Michael Jordan to LeBron James, ignoring Kobe Bryant's rightful place in between. Yet even while defending Kobe, Shaq always lands on the same conclusion. Michael Jordan stands alone at the peak and everyone else is competing for second. That if Shaq's praise of Jordan represents one side of the GOAT debate, his criticism of Kevin Durant represents the other, and it is delivered with brutal honesty. When Shaquille O'Neal challenges someone's legacy, he doesn't soften his words or worry about hurt feelings. And Kevin Durant, despite his undeniable greatness, is no exception. By almost every measurable standard, Durant is an all-time great. He owns 2 championships, 2 finals MVPs, a regular season MVP and 4 scoring titles. His career averages, 27.3 points, 7.0 rebounds and 4.4 assists per game, are elite by any standard. Standing 7 feet tall with guard-level ball handling, Durant is one of the most unstoppable scorers the NBA has ever seen. Yet, according to Shaq, none of that qualifies Durant for the GOAT discussion. The reason comes down to one blunt distinction Shaq laid out in a 2024 interview, a statement that has echoed throughout the basketball world ever since: "You have to drive the bus." Kevin Durant, Shaq said, is a great player, but he rode the bus. Those 8 words have become one of the most damaging summaries of Durant's legacy in the GOAT debate. And for Durant's supporters, the context makes them difficult to dismiss. In July 2016, after losing a 3-1 series lead to the Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference Finals, Durant made the decision that would forever shape how his career is viewed. He joined the very team that had just gone 73-9, the best regular season record in NBA history. That Warriors roster already featured Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, 3 All-Stars who had proven they could win a championship without Durant. Golden State went on to win back-to-back titles in 2017 and 2018, with Durant earning Finals MVP honors both times. But in Shaq's eyes, those championships came with an asterisk. Durant didn't build the team. He didn't endure the grind of leading a franchise from the ground up. He stepped into a fully constructed super team and collected the rewards. Shaq often contrasts Durant's path with those of Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe. Jordan had to repeatedly battle, and eventually overcome, the Detroit Pistons' brutal defense before reaching the mountaintop. He was the unquestioned leader, the foundation of the Chicago Bulls dynasty. LeBron James, despite criticism for teaming up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami, was still the clear alpha on every championship team he led. And Kobe Bryant, even while winning alongside Shaq in Los Angeles, was visibly evolving into the driving force of the Lakers franchise. Durant, by contrast, was viewed by many as the 3rd most impactful player on those Warriors teams, behind Curry and arguably Draymond Green. He was an extraordinary talent riding in a car that was already speeding toward a title. In 2025 discussions, Shaq doubled down on his stance, stating clearly that only Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant belong in the GOAT conversation. Once again, Kevin Durant was left out, despite his individual brilliance. And when Shaq explains his criteria, greatness defined not just by numbers, but by leadership, dominance, and self-made success, Durant's exclusion becomes easier to understand.
I did pretty much everything that MJ did when I was a kid. I shot fadeaways before I should have. I wore a leg sleeve on my leg and folded it down so you saw the red part.
For no reason.
I wore black and red shoes with white socks. I wore short shorts so you could see my undershorts underneath. But I did everything Mike did, man. I wanted to be Mike.
That exchange on First Take perfectly captures Shaq's no-frills approach to the GOAT debate. While analysts can argue advanced metrics, efficiency ratings, and era-adjusted statistics endlessly, Shaq cuts through the noise with one direct question. What did you accomplish when it mattered most? Michael Jordan went 6-0 in the NBA Finals. LeBron James went 4-6. Kevin Durant went 2-1, both wins carrying a massive asterisk in Shaq's eyes. Some critics argue that Shaq is being unfair to Durant, insisting that context should matter when evaluating championship success. After all, LeBron repeatedly ran into those Durant-era Warriors teams, and Durant's move to Golden State arguably cost LeBron additional titles. But that argument only reinforces Shaq's position. Durant made that choice. He decided that winning immediately mattered more than building something of his own. He chose the path with the least resistance. And according to Shaq, that decision alone disqualifies him from standing atop basketball's Mount Rushmore. Even Durant himself has occasionally distanced his legacy from direct comparisons with Jordan and LeBron, acknowledging that each occupies a different lane of greatness. Perhaps on some level, Durant understands that his championship path will always be viewed differently. Perhaps he's accepted that, while his resume is extraordinary, it will forever be tied to the decision he made in 2016. Interestingly, Shaq has gone a step further in recent years by expanding the GOAT conversation to include Stephen Curry, the very player Durant joined in Golden State. In 2025, Shaq stated that Curry belongs in the GOAT discussion alongside Jordan, LeBron, and Kobe because of his revolutionary impact on the game. The irony is unmistakable. Shaq is willing to include Curry, the centerpiece of those Warriors teams, while excluding Durant precisely because of how he joined Curry. It's a harsh assessment, but it's a consistent one. Shaq values authenticity in championship pursuits. He values players who had to fight through adversity, build their own paths, and overcome obstacles, rather than align themselves with the obstacle. By that standard, Kevin Durant falls short. And perhaps the strongest validation of Shaq's stance doesn't come from Shaq at all, but from LeBron James himself. If you want to understand why the GOAT debate continues to lean in Michael Jordan's favor, look no further than the words of the man most often placed beside him. Since entering the NBA as an 18-year-old phenom in 2003, LeBron has lived under the shadow of Jordan comparisons. The expectations were enormous. The pressure was relentless. Yet throughout his career, LeBron has consistently and openly expressed reverence for the man he was supposedly meant to surpass. Their first meeting took place in 2001, when LeBron was just 16 years old and already the most hyped high school player in the country. When reflecting on that moment, LeBron described it in almost spiritual terms. It was like meeting God for the first time. Consider the weight of that statement. LeBron James, the NBA's all-time leading scorer, a four-time champion, a four-time Finals MVP, and a player who has sustained elite performance for more than 2 decades, didn't compare meeting Michael Jordan to meeting a hero or a legend. He compared it to meeting a deity. And that reverence, perhaps more than any statistic or accolade, explains why Michael Jordan's place at the top remains so difficult to challenge.
Because I realize that the conversation is going to continue to happen no matter what, and it's great for the game.
In a 2023 interview, LeBron James openly revealed just how deeply Michael Jordan shaped his basketball identity during his formative years. He didn't simply watch Jordan or admire him from afar. He studied him, mirrored him, and emulated him down to the smallest details. The fadeaway jumpers he attempted before he was ready. The leg sleeve rolled down to reveal red. The black and red shoes paired with white socks. The short shorts. Every detail was intentional. This wasn't a future rival sharpening his skills to overthrow a king. This was a disciple learning at the feet of his basketball messiah. LeBron took that admiration even further in 2009, publicly calling for Michael Jordan's iconic number 23 to be retired league-wide. "If you see 23, you think about Michael Jordan," LeBron said. "I feel like no NBA player should wear 23. Few statements speak louder about reverence than that. 3 years later, in 2012, LeBron wished Jordan a happy birthday on Twitter with a message that left no room for interpretation. "Happy birthday to the person I idolized and wanted to be just like as a kid playing the game of basketball, Michael Jordan." He even tagged it with the word that carries the most weight in basketball culture. #GOAT. Not a goat. Not one of the goats. The GOAT, singular, definitive, Michael Jordan. Over time, LeBron's public posture on the debate has evolved. After leading Cleveland to a historic 2016 championship over the 73-win Golden State Warriors, he privately felt that achievement cemented his own claim. "That one right there made me the greatest player of all time," he admitted. And yet, even as his confidence in his legacy grew, LeBron never fully crossed the line into declaring himself superior to Jordan. In 2020, following his 4th championship, this time with the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron was once again asked about the GOAT debate. His response was revealing, "Y'all can do the debates. Y'all can figure that out." That isn't the voice of someone eager to crown himself above his idol. It's the response of a player who understands the weight of history, the nuance of greatness, and perhaps still holds Michael Jordan in too high a regard to claim the throne outright.
Before the game, I was terrified, but to relieve pressure of that, I ain't got to guard him, so I'm not worried. Second thing I said, I can't let him dunk on me. That's not going to happen. So it was a play when he comes baseline, I had to touch him up. It was one I'm not getting dunked on because I'll never live that down from family members, homeboys, barbershops. That'll be a poster forever because Mike was the man at the time. But Mike also taught me something very valuable. So when I go to help him up, he said, "Don't ever help nobody up. Great foul. Don't do that. I don't need your help. But I'm coming back, don't you worry." Mike is the guy that taught me how to go to the next level.
That story perfectly captures Michael Jordan's competitive DNA and explains why Shaquille O'Neal holds him in such deep reverence. After being knocked to the floor by a hard foul, Jordan refused help getting up. He refused to show vulnerability. And more importantly, he promised payback. That is the fear factor Shaq always talks about. That is what separated Michael Jordan from everyone who came before him and everyone who followed. Jordan didn't just beat opponents physically, he dismantled them mentally. He even targeted Shaq's struggles at the free throw line, understanding that the weakness wasn't just mechanical but psychological. That kind of warfare, identifying an opponent's flaw and relentlessly attacking it, was classic Jordan. The 1995 Eastern Conference semifinals remain the only playoff series Jordan lost after returning from his first retirement, with Shaq's Orlando Magic eliminating the Bulls in 6 games. But Jordan's response the very next season was ruthless, a 4-game sweep of Orlando on his way to a 4th NBA championship. That's what true greatness looks like. You knock Jordan down and he comes back stronger, sharper, and more unforgiving. Off the court, Shaq has often referred to Jordan as a big brother, someone who offered guidance and life lessons that went far beyond basketball. What began as intimidation evolved into mutual respect and genuine brotherhood. And perhaps that's why Shaq defends Jordan so passionately in the GOAT debate. For him, it isn't just analytical, it's personal. So where does all of this leave us? With Shaq's fear factor argument echoing louder than any statistical model. With Kevin Durant's championships forever linked to his decision to join a 73-win team. With LeBron James himself openly acknowledging that Michael Jordan was the player he wanted to emulate. The debate will never truly end. Every generation champions its own heroes. Statistics will be dissected, reframed, and selectively used to support opposing viewpoints. But when a Hall of Famer like Shaquille O'Neal, someone who battled Jordan, learned from him, and lived through his era, declares that Michael Jordan will always be the greatest, that opinion carries a weight no advanced metric can offset. What makes Shaq's stance even more compelling is his humility. This is a man who won 3 consecutive Finals MVPs, matching Michael Jordan for the longest such streak in NBA history. A player who led the league in field goal percentage 10 times, a testament to his overwhelming dominance in the paint. A force so physically imposing that opposing teams invented an entire strategy, Hack-a-Shaq, solely to slow him down. And yet, Shaq has never seriously campaigned for himself as the GOAT. Some fans argue that lapses in conditioning or motivation prevented Shaq from reaching the absolute pinnacle. There may be some truth to that. But his willingness to exclude himself from the Jordan, LeBron tier, while also excluding Kevin Durant, reveals exactly how he defines greatness. It isn't just raw talent. Durant may be one of the most gifted scorers ever. It isn't sheer physical dominance. Shaq himself may be the most dominant big man the game has ever seen. It's something deeper. It's about building something from the ground up. It's about being the unquestioned leader of a championship culture. It's about driving the bus. Shaq has even suggested a position-based approach to the GOAT debate, comparing guards to guards and big men to big men rather than forcing unlike players into direct competition. It's a fair framework. But even then, Shaq always arrives at the same destination. Michael Jordan is the standard by which all greatness is measured. The generational divide is real. Younger fans who grew up watching LeBron dominate naturally gravitate toward him. Those mesmerized by Durant's smooth scoring and versatility argue for his inclusion. But those who lived through the Jordan era, who felt the arena tense every time number 23 rose for a potential game winner, understand something statistics can't fully explain. They understand fear. They understand what it meant to face a competitor so relentlessly driven that he sought not just to beat you, but to break you psychologically. That's why LeBron himself admitted in 2013 that his greatest obstacle was fear of failure, contrasting himself with Jordan by saying, "MJ wasn't perfect, but the greatest thing about him was that he was never afraid to fail." That admission may be the most revealing statement of the entire GOAT debate. The man most often positioned as Jordan's greatest challenger, armed with longevity, accolades, and historic numbers, acknowledging that Jordan possessed a psychological edge he himself did not. Shaq sees it. LeBron admits it. And perhaps it's time the rest of us acknowledge it too. The GOAT debate will always fuel television segments and social media arguments. But when the players who actually competed at the highest level weigh in, their verdict is strikingly consistent. Michael Jordan stands alone. Thanks for watching. If you want to see another video like this, click one of the boxes on your screen right now.